Hello, happy Sunday, and welcome to this week's list video. This week I have a few games to talk about, but before I do that, I thought it would be fun to do a haul video because yesterday I went to my local game store. It's called Soundgarround in Vestal, New York. I can't say enough positive things about them. They just have such a great selection. They're always friendly. I've never had any issues with any of the games I've bought. Why don't I just kind of get into it? So, when I walk into the store, I generally have one goal. I set myself a budget of like $60 to $70. Like in my mind, like it was like $65 with tax to get a new game from this generation. So, if I keep my budget about the same and spend about $60 a month, and my goal is to get a Wii game, an Xbox 360 game, and a PS3 game. So I right off the bat when I went to the 360 section, I saw Peter Jackson's King Kong. Now this is a game I I don't know why exactly, but this is a game that like I have in my head. It's a short list of games that like if I ever saw it in my local game store, I was just gonna pick it up regardless of price because I knew it was like more expensive than it should be online anyway. So I was like, if I ever see it, I'm just gonna grab it. So I saw it in the store and it was $45, and I was like, all right, I'm probably gonna blow my budget this month. It's okay. July was like a 5 week month, so I got paid. It was an extra paycheck, so I was like, all right, I'll eat it this month. So I'll pick this up, and then I guess I'll get into why I wanted to play it, and it's just like I know it's just like a launch title. But like everyone I've ever heard talk about it, they've had positive things to say about it. They say that it's a shorter game and that it just hands out the achievement points. So I'm like, it's a game that I don't know why, but I've just always kind of been curious and I wanted to check out for myself. So then when I was looking in the Wii section, I was kind of debating on a couple different things, and I was looking at Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, and I was going to pick that up, but ultimately I didn't because of the PlayStation 3 game that I bought. But I'm going to save that one for a second. The Wii game that I did end up buying was Disney's Epic Mickey. I'm not gonna lie, a reason why I bought this was because it was $8. And I know it's worth more than $8, but I was like, all right. So Peter Jackson's $44. The other game I bought was $30. So this one I was like, I'm gonna go cheaper where Donkey Kong was like $20. So I was already way over my budget. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go as cheap as I can for the Wii game. So I went with this because it was like all right, for $8, this is actually going to be a good game or a decent enough game. And also I don't know a ton about it. I know that there's a whole mechanic with the paintbrush and like you're painting light over dark. I don't know, it seems interesting. I know it's specifically made for the Wii, at least the first one is. So like I said, for $8, it's a game that I've been intrigued by. I've always kind of wanted to check out anyway, so why not pick that up? And then the game that I was most excited, I saw it and I was like, I have to get this. And that is Tony Hawk Ride. It's so I've already taken the sticker off, but yes, it was $30 for the for the board, but then also there was a sticker that said like the game is included. So um, yeah, I got that for $30. Originally, I was going to walk out of the store with Peter Jackson's King Kong, Jungle Beat, and Eternal Damnation for the PlayStation 3. I don't know if I made the better choice, but this is the choice I made. I picked up Tony Hawk Ride. Now I have another Tony Hawk game. Now, everything I know about this game, it's bad. One thing that I do think is cool, and I probably shouldn't have said this, is there is a sticker for R Zone, which tells me I bet this game was originally a Toys R Us game, or this particular, like this whole set. So like that's just like a fun little history of just like that particular board that I bought. So yeah, that's the haul that I bought this month. It was stupid. It was stupid. But I'm kind of excited to see what the games have in store for me. So with that, I will transition now into what I have been playing this week. To start off, the game I've been streaming, Far Cry 2, and the answer is no. I was bad this week and I never played this game. The truth is, every time I sat down to play video games, because like my work starts at noon, so I play video games in the mornings before I go to work. Every time I sat down to play a video game in the morning, I didn't want to play Far Cry, and I should have been streaming, but I just never wanted to play Far Cry. So I gotta rectify that this week, but yeah, I gotta do a better job about that. So with that, I will get into the 360 game that I have been playing, and that is Rock Band. So Rock Band is a game that like I thought it'd be a good one to start with because I've already played through the quote unquote campaign that the game has to offer for guitar on hard. So I thought it'd be good for just like an introduction of back into uh just like the music and like the music games for this generation because there are a ton of them. I only own Rock Band 1 and Rock Band 2, so I got to start picking those up. But like I figured, you know what? Like I'll dip my toe back in with this. So I've just kind of been playing, 5 or 6 songs per day, just kind of warming up, getting used to it again because like let's be real, it hurts to play. It's like it's if you haven't been playing Rock Band or like these like Guitar Hero or these music games, like it's hard to go back to. I personally I'm not using my left hand enough clearly throughout my normal daily life. So uh but with my overall experience of just playing Rock Band the last couple weeks or specifically this last week, the one thing that I'm finding disappointing is just the way the single player is implemented. If I want to play bass, I have to go to quick play and I can only play one song and then I have to then go back to the main menu and then pick a different song. There's no set list, and there's no set list you can pick or create for guitar either. It As a single player experience, this game is severely lacking. I would argue Rock Band 1, 2, like they are, I I don't you pick one or the other. Like multiplayer aspect, like two of the best games of the generation, but like the single player aspect of Rock Band 1 is lacking. So it's a little disappointing, but like when I'm playing the songs, it's great. This is a great game. I don't want to sound negative. It's just like I'm just saying, like, as an overall experience, like the game has great bones, but it is lacking some content and just modes and stuff that does get rectified with like Rock Band 2 and Rock Band 3. So yeah, I'm excited to get into those other, music games because it's been years since I played a Guitar Hero campaign. And then I was thinking about it earlier with like Beatles Rock Band and just like I know they actually took the time and made like a story out of that one. So like that's another one that I'm excited to pick up and try at some point. So yeah. Rock Band, it's good. But the first one, it's lacking content. They did a better job as with the future games. Um the next game that I started playing for the Wii was Super Paper Mario. Now, I'm going to be honest, like one of the things that I'm enjoying about doing this is like obviously there are a lot of games that I have played and I'm familiar with, but anytime I can go into a new game that I've just never played, I don't know anything about it, like that excites me because like I know it's a mystery box and like a lot of times you can kind of glean what the mystery box is going to be, but like this game was a bit of a mystery box. Like I didn't know anything about it other than the name Super Paper Mario, which I've played other Paper Mario games. I know what they're about. So I start playing this game and right off the bat it's like, oh, The dialogue, it's got that. It's cute, it's whimsical, it's charming, it's funny. It's exactly what you want from Nintendo. I mean, the localization team has done an excellent job. And then I'm further excited by the fact that like it's not just like Bowser is the antagonist again and he stole Peach. Like there's more to it. There's a new antagonist and like the story's all about like different dimensions and like they're interjecting that like the interdimensions with like into the puzzles. And the game is like I'm enjoying it and it's interesting, and then I'm about a half hour in and I'm like, this is a really like it's interesting. I'm enjoying it. But like I wonder when the tutorial for the turn-based RPG aspect starts. It's kind of weird that I haven't encountered that. And then I was like over an hour in and I was like, okay, now I'm like completing chapters. I've leveled up a couple times by defeating enemies, but I'm still not getting the tutorial, like what's going on. So then I started kind of looking into, so I just went on to Google and like the game is described as an action RPG, and that's what Nintendo thinks this game is. No, they made a slow plotting puzzle platformer, and I'm disappointed by this game. Like I said, the story's great, the characters are great, the localization team did an amazing job, but like, why would they take the core concept of Super Paper Mario and change it to like an action RPG? Like, my only thought is like they were trying to quote unquote dumb it down for the Wii audience, but like it was still like relatively early in the Wii cycle. And like I can kind of understand that concept just because like if you remember, or I guess you like you don't know this, but like this is not my original Wii. Like the Wii that I'm using, I bought it last year. Yeah, I bought it last year, right? Like basically for this. I don't know if I've talked about it. But and it was clearly like a family's Wii. I bought it with and it came with like 12 or 15 games. Maybe I did talk about it. I think I talked about it on the podcast. I don't think I've talked about it on like this on my YouTube channel, I guess. So I'm getting those two mixed up. But anyway, so like it was a family's Wii, so like when I first started this game, I had to kind of go through and delete like these like three different save slots. So I'm like, oh man, I am like literally deleting someone's childhood, but it is what it is. I mean, like they sold their Wii. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like the game itself is just a little disappointing. I just don't understand the thought process of changing what the game is to make it simpler. Like I don't think they made it better. But so like what has ended up happening is like I'm now just like less excited to play the game. And so what ended up happening this week is I wound up playing primarily one game, and that was Ratchet and Clank Future. Oh, that's why it's because my camera is I can't get it to, but anyway, it's a Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction. And so my history with this game is when I went to load the game up, it said that I last played it in 2022. So the first time I played it was, I think it was like May 2022 or July or whatever. So it was 4 years ago. 4 years and maybe a couple months. Doesn't really matter. But like one of the things that it was painfully obvious when I played it back then is that this game was designed to play a new game plus. And the reason why I say that is you can only max out the weapons in the first like your first time playing through it at level 5. Traditionally, Ratchet and Clank games, you get all the weapons to 10. If you wanted to max them out to 10, you had to do that in New Game Plus. You had to like buy them at the vendor again. They're upgraded, and then you go through and upgrade the weapons again. So that's what I wound up doing is like I finished the game the first time in 2022, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna save this because at some point I'm gonna want to go back and play a Ratchet and Clank game. Sure enough, I'm playing a Ratchet and Clank game for this. But so I sat down, played through it again, and like I didn't. There was nothing else I wanted to do when I was home. I would just play through Ratchet and Clank, and it is definitely designed like it is well designed. The New Game Plus mode. It is more challenging. It is more difficult. Quote unquote spoilers for the final boss on New Game Plus mode, but like, excuse me. I had Ratchet maxed out, like his HP couldn't go any higher at 999. I had the highest best armor you could have. And even then, in the final boss on the New Game Plus mode, 3 hits and I was dead. I could take 2, and then I was like, okay, I can't take anything else. That 3rd hit, done. So like 3 hits and you were done. And there was a specific phase in the boss where there was a ton of rockets and there's laser, and there's no like if you get hit, there's no like, oh, you are in like a stun, like you can't get hit again. Like you can just go boom, 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 get hit 3 times in a row, and you lose all your health. So I was every time I'd go into that final boss, like I had it down. I was like, I'm gonna use, the saw blades here. I'm gonna then do this. I'm gonna do this, and then I got to that phase and I would die every time. So like somehow I was able to finally get through it, and like I, it was towards the end of so I'd been playing for a while. My controller, I had it actually plugged into the PS3 because I was charging it, and like I stood up and I almost like flipped my PlayStation 3 because like it was plugged in. But man, I was just so excited when I finally beat the final boss. It's an excellent game. Like that's all I wanted to do. The story is fantastic. They did a great job with the weapons and the way they upgrade. And like I said, it's a great New Game Plus mode. My only complaint about this game is it was made in 2007, so there's just no trophy support. That's it. Otherwise, like I would make the bold claim that this is I think this is a top 3 Ratchet and Clank game. I think I would put this one. I would put the second Ratchet and Clank game, and then I think the 2016 remake, the PS4 one, is that is probably the best one. So yeah, I would put this one at least second or third of like just Ratchet and Clank games. So yeah, great games. Great game. Like I said, that's all I wanted to play. I just finished it, so I was like, all right, now's a good time to that. So now, before I get into the list, which I was going to do, I just kind of wanted to briefly talk about what I was going to play next. So I've been playing Rock Band. I'm going to wrap up Rock Band. Just because it's just kind of been a game I've been kind of dicking through, playing 5 or 6 songs, because that's all I can pretty much play anyway before my arm and my hands just start hurting. I'm getting old. So I'm so excited to check out Peter Jackson King Kong. So that's going to be my next Xbox 360 game. And since I just beat Ratchet and Clank, I decided that my new PlayStation 3 game that I'm going to be playing this week is Genji, Day of Blade. My camera is just not that great, apparently. But yeah, it's Genji, Days of Blade. I don't know anything about this game. I was looking at it earlier. I think it might be published by by PlayStation. And it was developed by Game Republic. I don't know. So I don't know. I'm excited to check that out. I don't really know anything about it. My gut says it's going to be kind of like a Dynasty Warriors type of game, but who knows? All I really know is Japan 1187, an era defined by honorable samurai and epic battles. Amidst the turmoil between clans, a legendary group of warriors band together to avenge a fallen family and uphold the Genji name. Now, I do know Genji is like that's an old Japanese proverb or story. So I know this game is kind of following that, but like in terms of like what the game I know the story's that, but in terms of what the gameplay is going to be, like I'm kind of curious. So yeah. So those are the two games I've been playing. So then we will just kind of get into the list. And um so like I said, like Super Paper Mario, like I'm disappointed. Like I like aspects of it, and now I need to just kind of change the way I think about it. I need to just kind of go into it thinking like this is a game I'm going in for the story. It's not about the gameplay. Because the gameplay just it's slow. Like it's not a fun platformer to play. Like so like I'm doing it for the puzzles and for the dialogue and story, I guess. So but as of right now, I'm just kind of disappointed and I don't really like Super Paper Mario. So yeah, so I guess I should say as of right now, I have it 38th between CSI and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, which, if you remember last week, I didn't care for either. So, Rock Band. I ultimately felt like it was a 7.5. It's good. It like when I'm playing the individual songs, it's enjoyable. But like I said, it's just like the overall user experience for like a single player, it's clunky. You play a song and then you have to exit out of that song, sit through a load menu, scroll all the way up to the top if you want to just do like a random song. It was just like at a certain point it just kind of got a little grating because like I was just like I wish I could just create a set list and just play 5 or 6 songs in a row and just kind of like be like, all right, that was fun, and like that's all I can really play. My arms are hurting. But either way, Rock Band, like I said, 7.5. It's good. I think they're like it's got great bones. And I know like Rock Band 2 and other Rock Band games are going to end up being higher on this list. So, but yeah, as of right now, it's between Project Gotham Racing 3 and Call of Duty 2. And then last but not least, Ratchet and Clank Future, Tools of Destruction. Bad name, disappointed that it's doesn't have the trophy support, but everything else about it, it's great. It's one of the best Ratchet and Clank games. It's probably the best Ratchet and Clank game of this generation. And when I really thought about it, I was like, it's certainly better than Uncharted 3. So I'm putting it third between Assassin's Creed 2 and Uncharted 3. Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction, thumbs up, great game. So with that, that'll oh shit. Oh, because I just closed out the so with that, I will call it an episode. I want to thank you for watching. And oh, also I want to mention I know I was supposed to do a bracket video last week. So I was going to do one with best podcast game. I started doing it, and if I'm going to be honest, I just hated it. It wasn't going well. It wasn't interesting. So I just kind of felt discouraged. I stopped doing it, and then I just didn't feel like doing a different bracket. I need to be better about it. I have an idea of what I'm going to do now. So my plan is I have to record the podcast with Manny. I don't it sounds bad to say I have to, but I'm recording the podcast with Manny, and then after the podcast I'm going to sit down and do the bracket. So with that, I want to thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next week.